Are you telling me there were Hamas missiles in every single one of those buildings? That's the entirety of the story, is that Israel just had to blow up this building, which, by the way, still I don't think would be morally justified. But this is so ridiculous that we impose these standards on these poor people that we would never dream of holding ourselves to that standard. It logically makes absolutely no sense. And it doesn't really matter what Hamas's approval rating is, in the same way that it doesn't matter that George W. Bush had record high approval ratings. That doesn't mean that the innocent civilians of the United States of America are fair game, and neither should any other group of civilians be.
Perfectly said.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, look, if you could do surgical strikes and do nothing but kill Hamas terrorists, great.
Yeah.
Right? But, that's not the real world. Dave's talking about a world that we don't exist in, right? I would argue. And this is where we would differ. I like Dave Smith a lot, and I think he's incredibly intelligent. But, we fundamentally look at things sometimes in a different worldview because of our experiences, right? And my experience has been dealing with a lot of hostile actors who, you may look at and think, okay, well, can't we just, I don't say we get along, but they exist and we exist, and do we really, that's not the world we work in, right? And urban combat is really ugly. It's not dismissing, the horrific nature of it and the fact that, yeah, sure, in a perfect world, it's morally repugnant, and it is, but it's the world that we live in. So I think, okay, on one hand, I get what he's saying, and I don't disagree on that moral side of things. But, from my background, I don't tend to live in that world. I tend to live in sort of the operational side of things. And, you sometimes you have to do things that are not good.
But even as extreme as that?
Well, yeah.
That's the thing. It's so extreme.
Oh, I know. And I don't disagree.